In today's session, I'm going to be covering how to build custom reports in Power BI given an existing data model. So you'll be able to easily access powerful analytics about your business right at the tip of your fingers. My name is Jim Doyle, and I am your ERP coach. All right, so I am currently logged into Power BI, and what we're going to do today is leverage our data model to build out a report page to answer some basic questions around top 10 customers. Now, before I actually build the report, I do want to spend a second talking about the data model. This is a component of our ZoneReporting product, and it's essentially the full NetSuite data model replicated in Power BI. So if you're a NetSuite user, you should recognize some of the fields over here. And so if we're looking at top 10 customers, for example, I can just go right into my customer table and I'll pull customer name in. And now I've got a list of all my customers from NetSuite. Next step would be to add in, if we want to look at top 10 by revenue, I go up to my measures. And these measures are the equations and formulas that define KPIs and actually translate the raw NetSuite transactional data into the language of business. So if we want to look at revenue, I can just drag in revenue. And now we can see for all our customers, total revenue. From here, it's just adding a filter. So instead of looking at all our customers, we'll look at just our top 10 by total revenue, apply that filter, and then I will convert this to a funnel. Power BI offers a ton of different visualization options. You can see some of them here, and this is just one of them. We'll use another one here in a second. So we have a funnel that shows top 10 customers, total revenue. If I want to break this down and see more detail on the items that they're purchasing or the services, or, I want to look at it by month, I can copy and paste it, and we'll take advantage of a different type of visualization for that. We'll actually use a straightforward matrix. And now I can add in some of that detail. So instead of looking at just total revenue, I'll drop in our measure for units sold. And then I'll also drop in a measure for gross margin. And so now we've got totals for our top 10 customers, but maybe we want to see this broken down by class or by item. So I can go down right to my items table and I'll drag in that class. And then we're looking at individual items all the way down to the SKU level. And then the final step would be to add in time intelligence. We have measures pre-built so you can do trended and comparative analysis. We bring in calendar and fiscal year so you can just drag and drop in. And now we can see this on a monthly basis. So in about 3 minutes, what we built here is a matrix that shows top 10 customers, units sold, revenue, gross margin by month. And then I can open up the customer and I can see the classes that they're purchasing, right? That's the next level. And then within those classes, the individual items. And so this would be, gross margin for this fan item being sold to this specific customer. And so you can start to think of all the different ways that you can roll reports up and down depending on the key segments and dimensions that are important to your business. This was a report built from scratch. The other nice thing about Power BI is that you're able to duplicate and modify reports. We have several pre-built reports. Here we have a financial overview that shows, revenue for top 10 customers, items, and classes, right? It's very dynamic, so I can select a class and I can see it filter to my top 10 customers for that class, top 10 items for that class. Or if I select a customer, vice versa, it'll show me filtered down to just Bird Books in this case. But let's say that I'm not interested in my classes. I don't use that as a reporting segment. Well, what we can do is I can create a duplicate of my own version. And so we retain the original. And then all I have to do is swap out. I'll deselect class and I'll swap in a segment that's more important. Maybe we want to look at top 10 by sales rep. And so again, all I have to do is just go in and select sales rep instead of class. And you can now see it's going to show us our top 10 reps by total revenue. I can select a rep and all the cross filters are still going to apply. I'm not having to build it from scratch just because I want to look at a different dimension. Could also add additional measures here. So we're looking at total revenue for top 10 customers. Maybe I want to add in a measure. So we're not just looking at revenue, we're also looking at gross margin. And now we can see a dark blue bar. right, for that gross margin in addition to the total revenue. So very flexible tool. Once you have the data model built, it's really easy to go in and kind of drag and drop and build reports from scratch, and then also spin off modified versions of the reports you do build. So it's not like everyone's having to reinvent the wheel every time they want to look at reports for your business. All right, thanks for joining today. If you want to see more information, including all the pre-built reports that we have for Power BI, visit zoneandco.com.